Hello, my name is Evelyn Arevalo, and today I'm going to explain a little bit about formative and summative assessment. Assessment in education is guided by the standards, which help teachers check if students are learning what the curriculum requires. These standards show what students should know and how their progress should be measured. Because of this, assessment becomes more fair, consistent, and connected to goals. To begin, we have formative assessment is a type of assessment used during the learning process. Its main purpose is to help both teachers and students to understand how learning is going and what can be improved. This type of assessment includes activities such as short quizzes, quick reflections, group discussions, art checking, exercises in class. Also, we have one essential element that is feedback. Must be immediate, clear, and focused on improvement. For example, if we have a reading activity, the teacher can explain what a student did well and what needs more practice. In this way, formative assessment creates learning opportunities for students for the reason that they can correct their mistakes, set new goals, and understand the success criteria. On the other hand, we have summative assessment that is used after learning period to evaluate a student's performance at key milestones, such as at the end of a unit, semester, or course. It helps to know if the students achieve the expected learning outcomes. And we have here also summative assessment. It helps teachers establish benchmarks for success, for example, deciding the minimum score to pass a subject. In addition, the results are often reported to external stakeholders, such as principal, other schools, or parent, because they show overall achievement. Then we have here a summative assessment follows four important principles. First of all, we have practicability, which means that the test should be easy to apply, not too expensive, and possible to score efficiently. Second, we have reliability, that meaning that scoring is consistent for all students. For example, two teachers should give the same grade if they use the same rubric. Third, we have validity, which means that the test measures what it's supposed to measure. For instance, we have a vocabulary test, must evaluate vocabulary, not speed, not reading speed, not grammar, not another aspects. Okay? Then we have authenticity, which refers to real-world relevance. For instance, we have a speaking task that should reflect a real situation in which students can communicate. For instance, we have asking for information at a store, at a bank, at a school, and more. There are also useful techniques and strategies for formative assessment. One is rubric usage, which helps students understand criteria and expected performance. Another is writing crystal clear questions, so learners know exactly what to answer. A third technique is blind grading, where the teacher scores without seeing the student's name to avoid bias. And finally, teachers must include relevant content, focusing on essential knowledge, not only in details. Okay, we have here summative assessment has a strong impact on students' learning because it increases motivation, confidence, and awareness of their progress. Also, students use their results to make decisions, prepare better for future activities, and understand their strengths and weaknesses. On the other hand, we have formative assessment principles. It includes its own principles. For instance, we have assessment for learning is focused on guiding students with constant feedback. So they are going to achieve their goals. Assessment as learning encourages students to take responsibility and reflect on their process and participate in decisions about their learning. So, in this case, feedback mechanisms such as grading comments or short conferences, they support both principles and help students improve step by step. Then we have here, there are many formative assessment techniques and strategies. One is targeted setting, empowerment, where students write their personal goals. Another is providing clear learning objectives so students know what they will learn and how they will be evaluated. Teachers can also design engaging lessons introductions. For instance, we have starting with a picture or a question to activate students' curiosity or prior knowledge. Other strategies include regular feedback mechanisms and interactive peer assessment, where classmates evaluate each other using simple criteria. Then we have formative assessment also has a positive impact on students' learning. It increases participation, promotes collaboration between teachers and students, and strengthens metacognition for the reason that learners think about their own process. It also improves motivation because students feel supported and guided towards success. And finally, we have a short conclusion that is both formative and summative assessment are important in education. In one hand, we have formative assessment that helps students learn during the process. Uh, we can use activities, for instance, right? Then we have summative assessment that checks what students have achieved after the learning is completed. So when teachers apply the principles, these techniques and strategies in a correct way, this assessment process becomes a powerful tool that can support the growth, improves teaching, and promotes meaningful learning in the classroom. Thank you so much.